Welcome to Hampton Speaks. My name is Steve Hampton, and today we're going to go on a journey to talk about the top 10 reasons why people fear public speaking. Let's get started. Fear number one, not being prepared. Why is that number one? Well, a lot of times people worry about the information, how much information they know, how well do they know the information, and don't really take into consideration how much time they need to spend, the level of effort that it actually takes to be a professional speaker or to give a great presentation or also to give a really good speech. It takes a lot of preparation. And by not understanding it, a lot of times they're more concerned about what's going to happen during the process. Number two, trying to be too perfect. What do I mean by that? Well, when you prepare, and you prepare, and you prepare, and you prepare, the one thing that you forget to do is to practice. So that means you gather information, you put it together, you get your slides together, you make your slides look beautiful, impeccable. They're the greatest thing ever. However, you haven't provided yourself ample time to prepare to actually do the speech, to run through, to practice it, to go over it and over it and over it so that you have that information burned into your head, that you know it back and forth, and that you can address any questions that's out there. Number three, phobia of crowds. Some people will not go out and do public speaking because they do have a fear of crowds. They do not want to be close to them, in them, beside them, talk to them, nor hear from them. And that takes a special kind of talent or a special kind of skill to work with someone who really has a phobia of crowds. The next one, number four. Number four is fear of failure. We all sometimes wonder how well we're going to do, if we're going to bomb, if this thing isn't going to work. This is my first YouTube video. So guess what? It took me a very, 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 very long time for me to actually publish this first video. You know why? Why? Because I allowed that fear of failure to stop me. But guess what? I am here now. I have overcome that fear, and we're going to see what happens. So I hope that you'll enjoy this piece as we keep going. I also wanted to say that I too have those problems. The next one is insecurity. Insecurity is more about what do you think about yourself and how do you see yourself, and are you comfortable with yourself, and are you comfortable with yourself in front of others? Because sometimes when you're giving a speech or you're doing a presentation, you have to show yourself the way you've never had to show yourself before. And you have to show yourself. Next one, a disability. Well, what do you mean by disability? Well, someone may have a speech impediment. Someone may have a lazy, sleepy eye. You could have a missing limb. You could have something that you feel is going to draw that attention to that area as opposed to the attention to the information that you provide. If you are the subject matter expert, you make your subject matter expert the key topic of that speech. The next one is lack of knowledge. What is that? Well, that means that someone is asked to go present something that they really don't know or understand. And for them to say, I'm not going to go get in front of that crowd and make a fool of myself. And that's understandable, because one of the things that you have to have is the right information. Judgment. Now, before we talked about insecurities. Well, insecurities is how you see yourself. Then you're concerned about judgment and concerned about how others see you. And what you have to do is you have to be more confident. You'll need to be more confident in yourself and your abilities. Focus on the information. Know your information. Practice, practice, practice. And that will help you address a lot of those concerns about being judged. The next one is lack of confidence. Well, I know it sounds very, very familiar to the others. Your insecurities, your fear of failures, your phobia of crowds, you're concerned about being judgments. All of these things are just are line items under your lack of confidence. But you must have confidence in your abilities. You must have the right confidence to say that you can do this, believe in yourself. And finally, tip number 10, the last one. Stress. That's right. We stress ourselves out. All too often, we worry about the wrong things. We spend more time trying to figure out the why, the what, the who, than again to focus on your information, practice it, practice it, practice it, Be that expert, be prepared, and be ready. And then find stress relievers. We also know that there are people who do exercises to relieve stress. They may do push-ups, they may do jumping jacks, they may run back and forth through the audience or back across the stage or things of that nature. Something to either burn off that excess energy that stress may give you, or they may do things calming like talk to a friend or a relative. And so these are the tips that I wanted to share with you today. Again, they're the 10 reasons why people do not want to do speech, do not want to give a presentation, do not want to stand out in front of a crowd. Let's recap. First one, it's not being prepared. The second one, trying to be too perfect. The third one, phobia of crowds. The fourth one, fear of failure. The fifth one, insecurities. The sixth one, disabilities. The seventh one, lack of knowledge. The eighth one, being judged. The ninth one, lack of confidence. And finally, stress. So come join us again on the channel. This is Steve Hampton with Hampton Speaks. We're going to have many tips, and we're going to also have tips and information to provide you to help you to overcome a lot of these fears and to give you the confidence that you need to provide the best presentation that you have in you. I have the confidence in you. You should have the confidence in you. Listen to these tips, and I assure you that you will become a better public speaker. Thank you.